What's up, guys? Today I am just going to walk you through a game of mine that I played on Ursa. I know there's a lot of carry players out there, so we are going to pander to that. And this is a game I played on Ursa, and I'm just going to walk you through how I played it, all my thoughts, and it went pretty well. So here the rune is like pretty dangerous. They only have a Timber, who's not that strong, level 1. And I queued up the stick here. I realized I checked a Dota 2 Pro Tracker. I don't play a lot of Ursa. This is like a good Ursa game. I bought this Orb of Venom, so I was like, oh, I'm against Timber. But apparently against Timber, you're supposed to start stick, not Orb of Venom. So I kind of fucked up there. If you go look at all the pros against Timber, they start stick. So I queued it up and flew it out right away. And what I want to point out in the lane is how much I focus on CS here. And really, like, it's not just focus on CS. It's like CS... focus on CS, and then for very short periods, like focus on like aggression, and then go back to CS. And it's not like a lot of back and forth. So here we run down the Timber with level 2, and then we get this guy as well. But then otherwise, I'm just gonna be focusing on creeps. Here my CM gets the lane pulled back, so this is really nice. I miss a bunch of last hits under tower. And then I get the rest of the last stuff in tower. Really nice to find in the trees here. Pretty simple. Look at the boots. I'm just going treads. A lot of the Ursas go treads Battle Fury right now. And I think that's a good build to go almost always. Like, I don't think it's ever really bad. I think that you don't have to go it. Like, obviously the other build, like the Diffusal Morbid Mask is good, but I am pretty comfortable going the Battle Fury build because I know that, like, regardless of what happens, like, I'll be able to scale, like, even if the game, like, doesn't go well, right? Like, we're against, like, Timber, Alk, Ursa, like, we might need to, like, scale in this game. So as long as I can get it at a fairly good timing and don't get, like, trashed in lane, it's pretty good. Even if you do get trashed in game, it's, like, kind of your best option, unless you need to get a Midas. If you go watch BSJ's Midas video, he kind of uses Ursa as an example. In some games, they do get Midas Ursa right now. Got a salve coming out, though. The CM brings it to me. And really important that, like, here, we get another kill. Or no, we're aggressive, and then we back off. Oh, no, we do get another kill. And then here, it's really important if you're a carry to, like, just not go up here and, like, farm this wave, right? As long as you have, like, I mean, ideally you have regen coming, right? So what I do is I buy the salve, and then I kind of just chill, right? And yes, I missed creeps for this, but now I'm full HP in the lane again, and I can play. As opposed to, like, dying, right? How many times do you die when you, like, have the salve coming out? Here, this is funny. I, like, go on this guy, and then I see a Tusk snowballing in, and I didn't realize it was on my team. I'm like, oh, it's my Tusk. And then we kill him. So, that's funny. And, alright, so we're farming. Not a lot to say about the skill build, I don't think. I think this is pretty normal. Maybe you normally get maybe you only leave Q level 1 these days. I don't really know. I didn't really feel like I needed W in the lane. And notice I got my treads, leaving the stick, and we see the Weaver coming here. I saw him coming. That's why I'm defensively positioned. And then this crazy dive happens where luckily my mid rotates. Dawnbreaker, good hero, and I don't die. Really important. Well, obviously it's important that you don't die, but it's like really nice that I didn't die. And notice that, like, I'm done with the fight. And notice how I play these next couple seconds. I'm trying to kill these creeps as fast as possible. I know they're respawning, right? And I'm like, I want to get the heck out of here. And so notice I just go for the range creep ASAP, and I'm auto-attacking this wave down as fast as possible. And then I kill the creeps before this guy gets here. Here, I was going to try and go buy this Ring of Health and then, like, get out. And then, you know, it's a Timber Saw, and I was like, well, I don't think I can get it. So I just enraged TP. And that's okay. And so here in this position, it's really important to, like, think about what to do. Like, it's only 7.5 minutes into the game, right? But what just happened? There was a lot of heroes that came top. The fight ended. The Timber went back top. And, you know, he's level 6 now. He's high level. And my CM is bottom. So you have to recognize in this situation that you just cannot go back top. it's just a huge grief to go back top here for your own game. And to me, this was like obvious. Like I kind of like checked out what was going on, and I was like, all right, just not going back top. Like lane is over. You know, 7:30, lane is over. And luckily, it went well for me, so that like I'm not way behind. Like I already had shreds going to the jungle, which is really nice, and I've got this ring of health. As soon as I send my courier out to buy it, a little late on my part, but basically I don't want to go back to lane at this point. And all I'm gonna do is try and be efficient in the jungle. So I'll talk about how I do that. So I start by walking here and then do the big camp. That honestly might have been a mistake. It might have been better to walk here to begin with, but here's the thing is I actually don't think that would have been as good, because it's really important when you're farming as a carry to like determine like kind of which way you're going to go next. So like walking to the right here to the triangle kind of enables me, if I want, to continue walking further to the right and down the map this way if I want. Versus if I started at this camp, the natural progression is left. And like I know that I don't want to come back here right now. So if I had started here and then just fed into the natural progression of left, I would have been farming towards a bunch of enemy heroes that I didn't want to be going towards. And so that's why I think it was a little bit better to start going right, because it's away from where I knew that their heroes were that I didn't want to engage with. And then I farmed this camp and finished it, and you kind of saw, I was like, it was like not close to another creep respawn. I decided I didn't want to go bottom. Like my Darkseer is just farming bottom. Don't need to be there. So I did decide here to cut back across to the jungle, and I thought, you know, maybe this is going to be inefficient, but I can farm this big camp, and then I can just make a decision about where to go next. Like whether do I feed into left or do I go back to the right? So using a little bit of my mana, since I have full mana, just casual throw out an Earth Shock here. And here I was going to walk back bottom, and then I made this decision to go back top, and I think this was correct in hindsight, and the only thing you have to be careful of is, like, we had seen Weaver, Gyro, and Timber up here, and then we didn't really see any of them. I had seen the Weaver, like, cut across towards mid. And the only thing you have to be careful here is that you're not just, like, walking into a Timber Saw who's, like, farming this camp, right, and is going to just completely chase you away. I didn't have the full information, but given the state of the meta right now, I thought this was better to go to anyways, and I maybe could have just walked up and around instead of, like, over and around, to make sure I like definitely don't hit the timber. Maybe I could have just fixed my pathing. But carries right now really want to stay and farm up here more than normal. Like if you watch BSJ's video that he released literally this morning, today is August 23rd. So if you watch the video that BSJ released about like the changes he wants to see, he talked about this dynamic and how carries are playing more up here, because the more usually you have a greedier offlaner who wants to stay down here longer. And like I said before, I didn't want to like come down here to where my Darkseer was and take his farm. Like he was doing fine and I didn't need to go take that. And so carries a lot of time are defaulting to up here. And if you watch like the Arlington Major, if you watch any of Ame's games, like he stays up here so long. And what that's really doing is like just giving Faith Beyond like a ton of space to like farm. And obviously you have to be careful, but you know, my team is kind of owning, luckily. And so this gives me a lot of space. And notice I don't walk down the lane like a maniac, right? Walking in this lane, or walking here would be, I think, way dangerous, given that, like, I don't really have eyes on the timber. They're going to be respawning on heroes soon. And I want I push this out, and now I want my rotation to be, like, kind of back this way. And if I need to, even back over to this way, depending on where the enemies go. Like, I don't want to be stuck out here. Right? Pre-Battle Fury, we're just trying not to die. You get the Perseverance first on Ursa. Okay, do farm left now because I see a bunch of heroes, right? If I hadn't seen this big fight happening, I definitely would have kept cutting back right, but because I see this huge fight, I walk to the closest lane. I tell people to do this all the time in my coaching. If you see a big fight happening and you're not going to it, you know, as carry or whatever role, like you need to push lanes. So that's what I'm doing here. Big fight happened mid, I ASAP push, and then I start jungling. Do not hit the tower. You're not a tower hitter. Not pre-Battle Fury anyways. And so now you see I'm cutting back to the right, and as soon as there's creeps to farm safely in the lane, go back to the lane. Looking to not really go back here, except that I saw Timber go mid again. I'm not really sure if it's correct for the Timber to like keep not being up here, but I saw the Timber mid again, so I was like, alright, I'm just going to push the lane again. And this lane pressure adds up a lot. I mean, you know, this tower is like losing HP, it's forcing TPs up here. Kind of go for this Weaver. Don't quite get him, but I think that's like good pressure, given that, again, I had seen like more heroes mid and I knew he was up here alone. If you can solo pressure a hero that's like showing if you have an idea that they're like alone, like you should. Like it's just correct. Even if you don't end up getting the kill, if you can like force them away or to not farm what they were farming, it's just 100% ideal. And here I see another fight breaking out, so I clear the lane. And we get a Battle Fury at a really good time, sub 14 minutes. And so my goal of this phase in the game is obviously to set up for Roshan. That's like the next objective that Ursa wants to take when you're going this build. Like you kind of finish your Battle Fury and then you go for Roshan. But Blink is like the next best item, I think, because Battle Fury on Ursa is not like BSJ mentioned in his video, his Midas video. I think kind of covers, I think it was that video. Or no? I think it was. Where he like covered the Battle Fury Ursa and like how he played. Because it was Ame going Battle Fury. And then you still play active, basically. Like just because you have a Battle Fury on Ursa doesn't mean you can't participate. And you see this, like we had the read that not all their heroes were mid, and I'm happy to like kind of join this and just kill this guy. Like you're so strong with just Battle Fury on Ursa because your hero's kit just naturally has so much damage. And that transitions with the tower and then straight into Roshan, and I have my Blink. So how you play here, you know, is pretty straightforward. So just to explain like what you want to do at this phase in the game, and then we'll watch what happens, is you just want to choke them out and then pressure the towers. And you know, they have an Alk. At some point Alk breaks his items this game. Has he done it yet? No. But he will. And then this game, like, you know, maybe it's not worth talking about after that, but he hasn't broken his items yet, right? So we're still playing Dota. But basically we're just looking to choke them out here. Looking for kills. I have Aegis. I'm really strong. And I've got my Blink Dagger, right? I can just be as aggressive as I want to. And for the most part, not taking yourself off the map is the important thing when you're a strong fighting carry like Ursa. I believe this is where Alk breaks steps, yeah. So, watch a little bit more. The rest of their team still tries. And then the Alk does eventually... He does keep farming, and like, he's killing couriers and stuff, so... Watch a little bit more. Maybe we won't watch all the way to the end. But see big fight happening up here, and I'm happy with my Aegis and my Blink to like TP to participate in it. Kill the Wraith King. Totally worth spending an Aegis to do that. And I guess the one other thing I'll note, notice here again, I'm like just running aggressively at their side of the map. My Dawn is here, so it's not completely alone, but I really don't mind doing this. Granted, it didn't work out perfectly, but it does kind of bait them. And I do die. That was my one death this game. But it does bait their team in, and we kill all of them. So not including out. And maybe if Alk was playing, that would go slightly differently, but, you know, that's life. And so at this phase in the game right now, right, I've died. We've established a huge lead. But now we don't have Aegis. And like I said, I'm not a tower pusher, right? So it's really important in this phase. Like, I was super, super aggressive prior to this. Like, I got the Aegis at 16, and then for the next, like, 4 or 5 minutes, it was non-stop aggression. Hopefully you kind of saw that. And now, I don't have Aegis, and Roche is up within the next, like, 3 to 5 minutes. So now it's time to chill until that next Roshan is up. So I'll speed it up faster, but I'm just going to have you kind of see how passive I am. So I'm jungling. I show up for, like, one little pick because, you know, my team had already set up a really good fight, so it's not that you can never join any fights, but you would only be looking to show up late to something that's already happening that, like, looks decent. So that's what I did there. I don't pressure the tower too aggressively. I'm not too worried about it. We do get it because it appeared they weren't, like, defending it, but if they had, like, been indicating that they were going to defend that tower, I definitely would not have looked to take it. And notice I'm just hitting a lot of creeps. I can see them all top, so I'm kind of like running freely through the bottom part of the map. We take this tier 2, and I'm telling my team here, like, let's just wait for Roshan. Like, I just want a Roshan, and then I want to, like, end the game. That's what I'm telling my team I want to do. And I got my BKB coming out. So, we take this tower again, because it seems kind of free. So really just waiting for the Roshan here. I have my BKB, and notice I'm not forcing it. I like going this guy. I kind of messed that up. If I had pressed in rage when a stun was going to hit me, and then not taking the full stun duration, it would have I would have killed him. It's just me not being good on Ursa. But now we take the Aegis. Hopefully you saw that that phase of the game was like I was very patient and I wasn't like really forcing it at all. I was farming my BKB. I was waiting for the Roshan, and now I'm happy to like basically run it down and jump in their base. And we do end the game here. So hopefully that was a little bit instructive for you guys. I went over it super quick, but just wanted to give you guys some carry content. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you like the video, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Catch you in the next one.